Welcome to lesson 39. We're going to talk about this on page 156 before I get ahead of myself. This is called the Trichotomy Axiom. Excuse me, negated inequalities in advanced ratio, but I'm going to talk about a lot. The Trichotomy Axiom means, this is a three-part rule, basically. Okay, three-part rule. This is self-evident. So something that we should know, but we should not take this for granted either. For any two real numbers, a and b, exactly one of the following is true. A could be less than b, a could be greater than b, or a could be equal to b. So it's a three-part rule. One of these statements is true. Okay, so we're going to keep that in mind as we talk about something called negated inequalities. So symbols of inequality can be negated. X is greater than 10 can be negated by drawing a slash through that. So we read this, x is not greater than 10. There are only three possibilities under this, the trichotomy axiom. If x is not greater than 10, then it's either going to be less than or equal to 10, but it's not going to be greater than 10. So we negated one part of the axiom. In the same way, if we write x, we could say x is not greater than or equal to 10, which says x is not greater than or equal to 10, then x must be less than 10, following the axiom. So what x is x is less than 10. What we can do is we can graph something like that. How can we graph x is not less than 2? Well, on a graph, on a number line, I'm going to leave this number line up for good. Let me write it all out. Okay? That x, since x is not less than 2, x could be 2. It could also be greater than 2. So I'll write it out that way. Okay? Now I'm going to graph something different. What if I decide to graph this? What could that mean? Well, take a laugh. The graph definitely looks like that all those numbers that is saying x is less than 3. But I can also write it this way. So I can say x is less than 3. It's not 3. That's what the open circle designates. But I could also write that down, x is not greater than or equal to 3. So either way, I can put those down. Now, the other day we did some stuff with ratios, and we're going to continue to do some stuff with ratios. By the way things are worded. Sometimes the way key information is worded. If we talk about ratio of red marbles to blue marbles, we would write red to blue, right? As 5 to 7, we would write this. 5 to 7. Now if we're told that we have a total of 156 marbles, and we're asked for the number of marbles that are red, we have to do some we have difficulty on that. So let's take a look at that. We have the ratio of red to blue is 5 to 7, and there's 156 in the bag. How many marbles were red? So let's write this ratio down. There are 5 red. There are 7 blue. Total is 5 plus 7 is 12. The ratio total, the actual total is 156. We will write all the implied equations that we can get out of this. Okay? We can write the red to total, which is 5 to 12. We could write the blue to total, which is 7 to 12. And I could write the red to blue, which was my original one, which is 5 to 7. Now, the problem is asking us how many were red compared to the total. So one of those three is the one that I need. Well, I want this one. Okay, let me clear out some space so I can work. I want that one. So my red, the total, equals 5 to 12. That's the one I want. So my red to 156 equals 5 to 12. That's 12R equals 156 times 5. Divide by 12 on both sides to get that red, when I solve it, equals 65. So that first thing is very important when I do these problems. If I ask for the ratio of fish to crabs and sea cave was 13 to 14. Fish equals 13, crabs equals 13 to 4. Crabs, I can't read. Crabs is 4. That means the total is 17. Because 13 and 4 is 17. It's really important that I can identify that. And from that, I can come up with 3 equations. Crabs, the total, equals 4 to 17. Fish, the total, equals 13 to 17. And fish, the crabs, equals 13 to 4. All right. So that's 3 different ways I can do that. Okay? So far, so good. Now the question that's asking us is, there's 119 fish and crabs in the sea cave. How many were fish? Well, how many were fish? Which one do I need? Well, I need that second one again, because that's what I'm looking at. Fish compared to my total, which is 119. So fish to 119 equals 13 to 17. So that's 17F equals 119 times 13. And then you're going to divide on both sides by 17 to get F equals 91. Go ahead and try practice A and D in this lesson.